Okay, hang tight. All right, I'll call you back. Bye. Don't do anything funny and step out of the car. Now, step out of the car.
What's wrong?
Step out of the car. Let's go. Or we're gonna have problems, and I don't think you want to mess with me. I think you want to mess with me.
We tried running.
That's what it's saying.
Don't take me. Don't take me.
Get out of here! Get out! Now! Now you're under arrest for assault of a police officer!
I didn't do nothing. Tell your hand behind your back.
You hear me?
Yes.
You're going to jail.
Near a Cleveland airport pickup lane, a Wickliffe Police Department officer spots a vehicle with no visible rear plate, only a dealer tag tucked inside the window, violating Ohio Revised Code Section 4503.21. The driver says he just purchased the car and was heading to pick up his wife from the airport. He produces a valid license and explains the tag was provided by AE Auto Service and Sales in Cleveland.
It's in the window.
Oh, yeah, it's all the way down.
That's why you put me over?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I didn't see the plate.
I'm so sorry.
Whose plate?
Mine. I just bought this car.
Okay. You have the... Get it up there. Do me a favor, just pull up a little bit.
My bad.
You just bought it from the dealership?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good. I just didn't want you blocking the entrance there. Do you have a license with you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you have any paperwork saying you just bought it or anything?
You might be at home because I've been at home a lot.
You remember what dealership you got it from?
Yeah. It's on the plate.
Yeah, I mean... Oh. A&E Auto?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they give you that plate, or?
Yeah.
Why'd they give it to you?
They gave me 45 days.
So instead of giving you a temp tag, they gave you that?
Yeah.
Okay, they're not supposed to do that. But I'm not going to penalize you for something that
Thank you.
may not have done.
I gotta pick up my wife from the airport.
Okay. You have a license?
Yeah, I got a license right here.
Yeah, they're supposed to give you a temp tag, not a dealer plate. Dealer plate are only for employees. Okay. So, but like I said, I'm not going to penalize you for that.
Thank you, sir. I got this elbow arrangement here too. I just bought her.
Oh, there you go. Where's she coming from?
Miami.
Miami?
Yeah.
How long has she been in or is she from Miami?
No, she's from here. She
okay.
took a vacation.
She took a vacation. You want to welcome her back?
Yeah.
All right. Well, give me a minute. We'll get you on your way. How's that? Right. You run a dealer plate for me. It's Series 005.
Okay. This is A&E Auto Service and Sales out of Cleveland. Shows the expiration is 3/31 of 2023, and there's 15 plates in the series.
Do you have the keys, or?
No, I don't have them.
Tyler's gonna go sit at the top of the street.
Okay. Seems decent, but you know, who knows? I'm trying to figure out why. There's a whole mess of places. Apparently, which actually kind of, I believe, being a fly-by-night outfit, he said that they gave him instead of giving him a temp tag, they gave him a dealer plate to drive around with for 45 days. Like, why are you doing that?
No, that's sketchy.
Well, it's sketchy, but it wouldn't surprise me from A&E Auto Sales.
Over there, yeah.
Right. Well, I'm going to go take the keys from him, and then I'll tell him it's in lieu of going in handcuffs right now.
So, he reached down to the passenger seat.
Yeah, he's got an edible arrangement in there. He just came from edible arrangements. Oh, there's a phone number right there. Do me a favor, turn your car off real quick. Hand me the keys. Yeah, hand me the keys. Just hand me. Okay. This is in lieu of you going into handcuffs. You got 2 warrants.
For
Parma and Chagrin Valley?
Yeah, they said they wouldn't come get me. I had a
Okay. Well, that's fine. They don't come get you, you can be on your way.
Okay.
But I figured instead of standing there in handcuffs, I'll just take your keys so you can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? So give me a few minutes.
Alright.
Let me see if I can call them real quick.
Under Ohio Revised Code Section 4503.27, dealer plates are strictly for dealer use, transporting, demonstrating, or delivering vehicles. Issuing one to a retail customer is a direct violation of state law. Dispatch runs the plate. It returns to AE Auto Service, Series 005, expiring March 2023, with an existing police report attached. A backup officer quietly positions at the top of the street. The officer calls the dealership directly. He is investigating why a customer received a dealer plate for 45 days of personal use. The answer he gets back will change the direction of this stop entirely. The subject has 2 active arrest warrants, one through Parma, one through Chagrin Valley. Both jurisdictions declined to respond. Under Ohio Revised Code Section 2935.03, the officer still has independent authority to detain. Rather than arresting immediately, the officer offers a compromise. Hand over the keys, stay put, and avoid standing in the rain in handcuffs. The driver agrees and complies. A civil resolution seems within reach. Then the situation breaks open. The vehicle comes back stolen. The officer now has probable cause for receiving stolen property under Ohio Revised Code Section 2913.51, a 4th-degree felony on top of 2 active warrants.
Hey, how you doing? This is Investigator Pickens from Lakewood PD. Speaking to a gentleman who apparently you guys sold a car to. I'm trying to figure out why he has a dealer tag instead of a temp tag as a plate. Tag number is, he's got the keys. Yeah, it's a silver Chrysler Sebring. Or purple, rather. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. There's a police report, Cleveland. Okay. Hang tight. All right. I'll call you back. Bye. Don't do anything funny and step out of the car. Now, step out of the car.
What's wrong?
Step out of the car.
Let's go.
Or we're gonna have problems, and I don't think you want to mess with me. I think you want to mess with me.
We tried running.
That's insane. Don't take me. Don't take me.
Get out! Get out! Now! Now you're under arrest for assault of a police officer!
I didn't do nothing. The other hand behind your back.
You hear me?
Yes.
You're going to jail. You assault me again and we're gonna have a problem. Do you understand that? You knocked my glasses right off my face when you punched me!
The officer orders the driver out. Under Pennsylvania v. Mims, officers may order any driver out during a lawful stop, no further justification needed. On a confirmed felony stop, that authority is absolute and non-negotiable. The driver hesitates, then exits, and a struggle follows. The officer sustains a laceration to the face. The subject is taken to the ground and placed in handcuffs. A backup officer assists in controlling the scene. Under Graham v. Connor, force is judged from the perspective of a reasonable officer at the moment of decision, not with hindsight. Active warrants, a stolen vehicle report, and physical resistance all weigh in the officer's favor here. The subject is charged with receiving stolen property under ORC 2913.51 and resisting arrest under ORC 2921.33. A search incident to arrest turns up multiple keys, including one unidentified key, raising additional questions. The driver claims his cousin used his ID to obtain the car without his knowledge. Under Ohio law, RSP requires proving the accused knew or had reasonable cause to believe the property was stolen, a genuine issue for trial.
I apologize. Oh my God, I didn't mean to punch you. I didn't try to punch you. I was just trying to get away. I promise.
I told you not to do this.
My wife coming home.
You stole the car!
I didn't steal the car.
I was just on the phone with them.
That's my cousin's car.
We've had contact, haven't we?
No, we have not. Sir.
I've never spoken to you.
No, I'm not even from Lakewood.
All right, roll to your side,
You
bud.
haven't. I never had.
Bring your knees forward. We're gonna sit you up here. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go back here.
You're under arrest for RSP and resisting arrest.
I apologize, sir. I didn't mean to.
You did. You wanted to get away. I told you not to do it. Did I not?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not worth it. You're lucky you didn't get tased. I'm fighting. I'm 53 years old. I'm done fighting.
Spread your feet for me, sir.
stolen with Cleveland.
Have a seat.
He test drove the vehicle and never returned it.
All the way.
It shows it's going to be
10-4.
You might have another cut on you.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. Yeah. Does this hurt at all?
No. Here, I'll take a photo.
Did you hear that?
What?
It is stolen, and you were the person that took it.
I didn't just take it.
They gave us your name.
I did not take it. My cousin probably did that.
Okay. Well, then he did it with your ID.
He probably did because I didn't know where the car came from.
Okay. All right.
Am I gonna get in trouble for that?
Yeah, you're driving it, right? Okay. So if he did it,
Post-arrest, the driver says he just graduated from Ohio State and starts trucking school in June. He asks if the charges are felonies. The officer answers honestly yes as charged. But the prosecutor may reduce the filing. The officer photographs his own facial injuries on camera, standard protocol for documenting officer harm and use of force incidents. He notes he had intended to release the driver before the stolen vehicle report changed everything. At the time of this analysis, the full case outcome is unconfirmed. The RSP charge faces a viable knowledge defense. The resisting arrest charge under ORC 2921.33 is clearly supported by the footage and the officer's documented injuries. The officer receives a B+. The stop was legally grounded, the dealer plate violation correctly identified, and force applied within the Graham v. Connor standard. Deduction. No verbal warning before the takedown and OPOTA best practice. The driver receives a C-. Early cooperation was genuine, but resisting a lawful exit order on a felony stop, resulting in injury to the officer, elevated a manageable situation into a serious felony arrest with lasting consequences. Lesson 1. When a stolen vehicle report is confirmed, the situation changes instantly for everyone present. Complying at that moment is not surrender. It is the most effective way to protect your legal options going forward. Lesson 2. If a dealer hands you a dealer plate instead of a temp tag, do not accept it. Ohio Revised Code. Section 4503.27 is unambiguous. Those plates are not for customers. Driving on one invites a stop with no clean answer. Lesson 3. Officers are not required to give verbal warnings before a takedown under Graham v. Connor, but doing so reduces injury risk for both sides. Clear commands before physical contact remain a best practice worth following. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to cover in the comments below. If you found this analysis informative, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We will see you in the next one.
then you need to complain to him because they gave us your name. But okay, so
He's claiming these are his house keys. These are
Yeah, those are my house keys.
so he's got another key. Where's this one at?
That was in his front right pocket.
Where's this car at?
I don't know.
Go on.
It's not a stolen car. No.
Asking help.
Yeah.
Those are just extra keys
Extra keys for what?
from like old cars.
Okay. All right, we're done. He can get his house keys another day.
Can you ask him to come here so I can ask him something? Please?
Yeah, I'll roll down your window. I guess he's got a question for you if you're...
Sure, I'll talk to him. Like I said, he was nice.
Hey, by the way, I didn't strike you.
Okay, then
I think I just got caught.
You just got caught?
Yeah, I think I just got caught. Swear to God, I didn't strike you. I would never try to.
You wouldn't try to hit me on purpose, would you?
No, I had no reason to hit you.
Okay, but you see I got cuts on my face too.
Yeah.
So I'm not real happy about that.
I know.
I'm 53 years old, dude. I've been doing this job 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm not young anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to be nice,
I know.
you know, so...
I got a question though. I'm supposed to be going to trucking school in June. Is this a felony or a misdemeanor?
Probably gonna be a misdemeanor.
Okay. Because I just graduated from Ohio State
But
University.
I can't say what they're gonna do with the RSP, but they might drop it to a misdemeanor, but I can't say that.
That's a felony?
As is, it's a felony. But I don't think they're taking F5s downtown.
Thanks for not running.
Okay.
So, okay?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, you know,
I know.
you seem like a really nice guy, and I was getting ready to let you go, and now all of a sudden you turned into a real jack-off.
Because I was just thinking about my wife.
Okay, well now you're not gonna get to see her at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, all right, buddy.
All right.